Peace, world. How you doing? It's your brother Mikey Fever, NYP Talk Show, Monday, 7 p.m. Tonight, we got a special guest, the legendary Dr. Alim Bey. In tonight's show, we'll be talking about unleashing the God within. How you doing, Dr. Alim?
I'm doing good, God.
Good. And for those who don't know, we're talking about unleashing the God within. And, from what I picked up is it's all about drawing from a spiritual perspective, psychological perspective, and whatever walks of life, walks of religion you take to have personal development of becoming a better human being, connecting with your higher power. So, Dr. Alim, being that, kind of broke it down for the listeners and viewers, care to go in, my brother?
Yeah, it's real simple. We're talking about spirituality, and spirit means breath.
Yeah.
Breath means spirit by definition. If you look it up in Webster's definition or dictionary,
Gotcha.
That would mean that in order to become more spiritual, you have to master the science of breath. There's no doubt about it. So there's many breath techniques. One of the best breath techniques is called pranayama or pranic breathing, which correlates to pranic healing. There's three of them. You have 6-3-6. So you will breathe 6 seconds in, hold it for 3 seconds, breathe 6 seconds out, hold it for 3 seconds, and repeat that for 100 times. That will expand your auric field from 3 feet to more than 15 feet outside of your physical body.
That's deep. So you say it's called pranic breathing techniques?
Yes, pranic breathing technique.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So another one is called 7-1-7-1. So you would breathe 7 seconds in, hold it for 1 second, breathe 7 seconds out, hold it for 1 second.
And what does this do? Like, does it, like you say, being that it's unleash, it's awakening the God within? Like, does it tap the cells and stuff like that?
Well, it awakens the chakra system. Most people humans have 7 chakras. Anunnakians have 8 chakras, and the Syrian beings have 9 chakras.
Whoa! He just took us another level. We know human beings got 7 chakras. He said Anunnakis got 8.
Right. Anunnakians have 8 chakras, and Syrian beings, who are the highest beings, they're the ones who seeded this planet. They have 9 chakras.
Okay. That has to be another show you gotta take us on, brother, with that one right there. Because some people be like, "Yo, where is he taking us?" But with the pranic breathing and then all these techniques of the 6, the 7, and you mentioned the 4, right?
Well, there's another one which is called empty retention, in which that you simply breathe in, no specific count. You hold it for 1 second, breathe out for no specific count, hold it for 1 second. And each one of these can be done 100 times. Once you reach 100, your auric field expands more than 15 feet outside of your physical body. The average person auric field is only 3 feet. So if you put your hands directly out in front of you and go around in a circle, in a circumference, that would be the average person's auric field. Gotcha. So now we're talking about 15 feet. So that's 5 times more personality, charisma. And we're talking about magnetic personality.
I don't know what happened. Right? Your screen kind of froze for a second, but
we're talking about magnetic personality. So we're talking about your charisma, the ability in order to reach other people. Your healing factors increase 5-fold.
Wow.
So you're able to heal yourself as well as others 5 times the rate of the average person who would transmit or conduct Reiki energy, pranic energy, which is called Chi or Ki energy, depending on where you're located at. Within the Indian culture, the Vedic culture, Hindu Kush, it would be called pranic or prana. Within China, it would be called Chi. Within Japan, it would be called Ki. Within Hawaii, it would call Kahuna Mana.
Wow.
All right. In America, amongst the Christians, it's called Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
In Germany, Austria is called Verel.
Got you.
All right. Within the occult teachings, it's called etheric or ethereal energy, or what is also called astral light.
True. That's big right there. So I have a question dealing with that, with the breathing exercises of helping you develop and release the God within you to change, the energy field around you, your force field, etheric, to tap into things.
Right.
Outside of the breathing, are there any special diets that one must follow? Or,
let me say this, is that everybody is different.
Yeah.
So it's based on your blood type.
Mm.
There's 4 blood types, actually 8 if you add the negative, but the positive blood types are O positive, A positive, B positive, AB positive.
Mm.
The negatives is O negative, A negative, B negative, AB negative.
Got you. And that's deep. That's deep right there. So all right. So
So
like, go ahead.
everybody needs nutrition differently as far as their blood types are concerned. Okay. For example, A blood type can eat chicken.
Continue. Wow.
Okay.
So
They're not the best, right? They can't eat chicken because of the lithium in which that is in the chicken. It causes problems in the digestive system. O blood type. I give a good example with the O blood type. O blood type can eat some meat. So it's not best for them to be completely vegan or raw vegan.
Got you. So are you saying you got to eat according to your diet should be based on your blood type? That's what you're
Yes.
alluding to? Wow.
Yes. There's a book called by Peter. His name is Peter. Well, it's called the 4 blood types. How to eat right for the 4 basic blood types, or for the blood types. And his name is Peter Adamo.
I heard about that name. Yeah, Peter Adamo. Yeah.
Yes, his name is Peter Adamo. Now, he has some excellent information. However, upon research, there's some things in which that are backwards. For example, he say that O blood type is the oldest, but there's coming to a time now that upon studying the blood types, the oldest blood type actually would be AB blood type. So there's some things in which that has to change as far as the age of the blood types, but as far as the particular foods that you can eat, that still stands. That still is good information in which that even Dr. Layla Africa incorporated within his Nutritional book. He also incorporated into his African holistic health book.
Got you.
Before he passed.
Yeah, I did see that. He had like a breakdown of the vitamins,
Right.
as far as like, curing diseases and how to regenerate your cells and realign yourself, the time to eat. And just like, Elijah Muhammad had that,
Right.
eat to live. So
Right.
So we broke down with the breathing, we broke down with the diet, you know. And you said there's chakras and there's different beings with different levels of chakra.
Right.
What other steps can one take? Like, a person that's in total chaos, how can they align themselves to be like, you know what, it's time for me to
Well, they
reawaken
would have to
God
learn
with.
how to quiet the mind. The breath is the physical extension of the mind. I can't see the mind itself within the
Gotcha.
individual, but I can see your breathing. I can see the
Gotcha.
way in which that you breathe. So
Mm,
therefore, the breath is the physical aspect of the mind.
mm.
Okay.
Got you, man. You over here, you dropping some gems there. All right, so with that, the breath is the mind, the breath.
Right, right. The breath
And
is the physical aspect of the mind. So really the mind is spirit in the sense that you can utilize your imagination, all right, because that's the most important or most powerful concept that you have, is your imagination. As a child, that's what you use with your imagination. But as you got older, you was taught to stop using your imagination. And
yeah,
that's when things went hectic, because you always supposed to use your imagination. Your imagination is the most powerful aspect of your living, because it is your imagination in which that helps take you through life and help to draw things to you in which that you want and need in life, because the universe is abundant.
yes, that's true. Yep.
All right. So you don't have to be jealous of someone else, because you can draw the same things to you in which that they have, or that you see that they have, without being jealous, but being grateful for them being able to draw what they drew to them. And you can do the same thing, because you have the same qualities and have the same mindset and have the same breath, science, or organization.
That's
So
that.
these are the keys. So we talk about the breath, we talk about the mind, we talk about tapping into your chakras, and we talk about the live it, as I call it, not diet, for the physical body. So these are the aspects in which that helps to resonate you to another level of consciousness.
Mm. All right. So with that, with you saying you said all that, which is good. That's a good, basis you have touched. Uh,
Mhm.
how 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 does like mantras and affirmations help with
They help with the process of making your mind develop into a more positive state, awareness, consciousness, and it helps you to be more productive in life instead of being stagnated, instead of being what's the word, procrastinate. It stop you
that?
from procrastinating. So these things, these particular mantras or positive thoughts, which it doesn't matter about the religion. You can go through Islam and say La ilaha illallah wa tuhu la sharika lahu,
Mm-hmm.
which means the law is alone and has no partners.
Yeah.
You can chant that, hundreds, 100 times, thousands of times a day. You can chant Om Mani Padme Hum, from the Indian Vedic, which means jewel in the lotus. You can chant that, you know. You can just chant any particular mantra or chant or dicker from any religion, any field. You can do the Lord's Prayer. You can do, the 23rd Psalm, whatever.
Yeah, that definitely. Oh, all right, I got you. You over here, you dropping something, so that right there will like somehow it will be etched into your subconscious, your conscious mind, and then like begin to manifest, like
Right.
resonate. Got you with that.
Exactly.
So
It doesn't matter the religion.
it doesn't
It
matter.
matters you actually doing it and believing it, you know.
Mm,
And what we mean by believe, yeah, but you first, before you have to believe, you know. We know that we end in the age of Pisces, which is the age of believing, and we have now gone into the age of knowing, which is the age of Heru, which is the age of Aquarius. So now we understand those astrotheological sciences. We correlate that information to our physical and to our mindset. That's necessary. So believe in the sense of, this is what I tell people. They say, do you believe in Jesus? I say, yes, I believe in Jesus, because Jesus lives in me.
Bars. yo, it's so dope that you said that. Yo, the words is deep. There was something I was looking back at one of your videos, and this was like probably a decade or plus, back in the time. When you said something about awakening to God, you said something about Jesus. And again, I'm neither Christian, Catholic, or religious, but there's something that you said where they say people get a misconception of turning the water into wine, and you said something about semen retention. And I was like, yo, can you break that down for us?
Yeah, what we was talking about is that in Tantra Kriya Yoga, is that by retaining your semen, and simply what we mean by that is that you're able to draw energy into your body and store it into your lower dantian, which is at your navel or right below the navel. Once you store the energy there, you're able to circulate that energy from your perineum, which is in between the anal and the scrotum sac, and circulate the energy up to the crown, circulating it back down. So it's along what is called the governed vessel and the conceptual vessel. And this energy is rotated 9, 18, 27, 81, whatever times in which that you choose to do it. But this energy is rotated, and upon the release, all right, you've stored enough of that energy inside of yourself to not deplete your life force, and you're able to release and have no problem, as we would say, with the I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, with any problem, as far as, normally brother get off the sister, he falls straight to sleep, or whatever the case is. But he won't feel like that once he circulate the energy inside of himself first, before he release, or as they say, he come or bust a nut, or whatever term that they want to use. And this is actually transforming water into wine, because we find out is that the semen is, one drop of semen is equivalent to 60 drops of blood.
Wow.
One drop of semen is equivalent to 60 drops of blood. All right. So that is actually transforming water into wine. It wasn't necessarily, because remember, when Jesus transformed the water into wine, this was at a wedding. And actually, when you do the research, it was his wedding to Mary Magdalene. Okay, so this was what we call the togetherness of that wedding, them coming together, consummating that marriage.
Yo.
Okay, spiritually, that is.
Yeah, of course.
Metaphysically.
So all right, so that's part of, like, you basically went through the process of unleashing the God from physical, breathing, spiritual to metaphysical, even down to, like, as you said, the living, not the diet, to what you can consume. All right. So say, for instance, in other cultures, like we touched on how Christians and Muslims do it by chanting certain things, right? So when somebody touch into, like, say, occult circles and such things, like, for instance, we go to Aleister Crowley, like, say you go into a circle, are they practices or rituals that they do to awaken the higher self or the God within them?
Well,
If you could expound on that.
they try to. Within the OTO, they put a woman in a chair who is butt naked and perform rituals. She symbolizes the mother principle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in which that is being praised. So yes, the OTO try to do those types of things. The Golden Dawn with the magic try to do those things. The Rosicrucians attempt to do it through the various ceremonies and rituals that they do. The Masons attempt to do it, at their highest degrees, 32nd and 33rd degrees. Even at their master level degree, master Mason, nowadays. So yes, they try to tap into the higher self, but it's so much ritual and ceremonies and talking instead of focus that most miss the point.
Going deep within yourself, right? As
Right. Right.
tapping into that.
Exactly.
Right.
And
So,
majority of them miss the point, because they're focused on what is being said, the ceremony itself, the particular ritual, so forth and so on, instead of being focused on themselves and actually utilizing the information to raise themselves up. Because, like for example, in the Prince Hall Masons, it symbolizes being hit in the head by the three ruffians laid in the northeast and have to resurrect. You're supposed to resurrect or become erect.
oh man, you going somewhere else with that, God. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to talk about it, but this sounding like the ISIS
Right.
story of Osiris and all that,
Exactly. And that's what that ritual actually comes from. So you would see the man being raised from a perpendicular level, raised to a perpendicular level from a horizontal level, symbolizing death. And he's being raised, that's the same thing with the erection. The erection, the phallus is limp. And then when the son comes, who is the resurrector, the erection takes place to become what we call the tekken.
Or in layman's term, the morning joint, the morning wood, as they put it.
Right. The morning wood. Right. So, whatever. All of these are rituals based on things in which that happens naturally. But once again, if you're focusing on the ritual and ceremony, you're not going to take into consideration the metaphysical principles that we just talked about.
I got you. So like, this is beautiful because, for those who are listening, those who are viewing, like he's touching on many things from occult to metaphysics. And if you listen closely, he's dropping some gems. And if you don't understand, go back and watch his videos because Alim has a lot of information. He also has a health food store where he has like a lot of herbs. I've seen.
Yeah, over 250 herbs.
250 herbs. So, how can, like, for the condition of our people, and it's like not to sound like we're playing victim or nothing for so-called blacks and around the world, all around the world, especially in the United States. What can we do collectively to help awaken the inner higher power within us? Like, to move forward, to get out of this curse that we say that we're in.
Right. Well, number one is to make yourself one of the 144,000. And the simple thing is that you have your chakra system in which that correlates to such. Your 7 chakra systems comes up to 144. times 1,000 at the crown chakra. And of course, if you times 144 times 1,000, you come to 144,000. So you have to become one of the 144,000 within yourself first. Once you have done that, you draw the other 144,000 to you. Those individuals who have mastered that realm as well. And y'all come together collectively in order to do your own rituals and ceremonies in which that can help vibrate this world to a different or higher level of consciousness. And that's really the key. That's the reason why the number is mentioned in the book of Revelations.
I got you with the 100. Yeah, that's a fact. Because this is something I always wonder. Like, you know, within our community, we have like, you go down any city, any street in New York, we have like 6 churches on one sidewalk, right?
Right.
And I question them, like, you know, if it's a place where people come worship together, you know, we have mosque, whatever, you know, why is it that we still in this, you know, this rut that we see our people in? You know, I'm like, I thought
Christians don't understand the science of the chakras. Most Christians don't believe that we have chakras, even though they have felt them. You know, if they've actually had the Holy Ghost ascend upon them, they have felt the chakras. Various chakras open or activate, but they're not taught about it. So therefore, they think it's something in which that is spooky. When really, according to the Bible itself, these are the seals that are supposed to be open.
Oh, wow.
And once these seals are open, then you're able to galvanize the energy, which is the Kundalini energy, that serpentine fire, up through those particular chakras, transforming from Lucifer to become the Christ.
Which is the title. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a fact. So,
right.
Damn, you just, said a lot right there. Say for instance, right? If people try these methods, they don't work. Are there any herbs that one can ingest? Because I know some people will take like DMT, they go to psilocybin with mushrooms whatsoever.
Right. Well, that's the key right there. Mushrooms work. Tabernacle Ibuga plant. Actually, it's wood from a tree, West Africa, works. Ayahuasca works. Many different other herbs. Some use marijuana. It can work. You know, it is all based on you taking it as in a ritual and performing a ceremony, not just a everyday, oh yeah, son, I'm getting ready to get fucked up, you know. Yo, pass that blunt, yo. You know, it has to be in a ritual. It has to be something meaningful, you know.
Got you. That's deep right there. Because you know,
but one of the best ways is the shrooms, the mushrooms. But you have to take it, take the mushrooms at a level, at least 7 to 35 grams.
7 to 35 grams.
Yeah.
So like when people talk, and again, for the listeners and viewers, we're not, you know, it's the DEAs listening. We're not telling people to, you know, indulge in drugs or nothing like that because you schedule like that. But we're just saying, like
everything which I be talking about, nothing is a drug. These are plants in which that you can go to the damn cow patch and actually get, you know, and no DA can stop that from happening. So, you know, so in a sense, yes, they might be illegal, but illegal for who? Not a herbalist. It's not illegal for a herbalist. You know, it might be what we call or perceived to be illegal for a commoner, someone who doesn't know. And the reason why they're ignorant of it is because nobody taught them. They've never been taught, you know. So, You know, that would be one of the problems right there, is the ignorance, you know?
It's the ignorance, because you hear people speak about, they say they have like a trip and they were seeing things and they
Right,
see
right.
beings and deities and they feel like they dying.
Right, right.
Uh,
Well, number
do you,
one, they probably didn't have a teacher. They didn't have a shaman, didn't have anybody there in order to help them through the process. Once again, they was on them, oh yeah, son, yo, pass me that. You know,
yeah,
yeah. That to me, that's when the shit is illegal, is because here they are, not respecting, the plant.
I got you.
They're not respecting the herbs. There's no respect.
I got you, because I heard about the whole ayahuasca thing. I seen documentaries on it.
Mhm.
And people say like they reconnected with with their higher being. They seen God. Some people say they had similar situations where they feel like, and again, people may laugh. They had experiences of being like on spaceships and
Right,
they
right,
came spiraling down and
right.
they met their higher self, their higher being, and they spoke to God. They helped them with their trauma, because that's one thing that could stifle somebody from reaching their highest potential of becoming a god within themselves is trauma.
Mhm. Right.
So
Exactly.
being that you're a herbalist and you're a teacher and
Now,
many
now,
other things.
now, 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 those are plants in which that has been deemed illegal. So let's go to plants that are all legal.
All right, good.
All right. Mugwort,
mm,
blue butterfly pea.
blue butterfly pea.
Right. Blue butterfly pea. PEA.
Mm,
Okay. Um, these two in conjunction with chamomile helps
mm,
relax the body. All right. St. John wort.
St. John Ward. All right.
Mhm. Valerian root.
Mm,
So these are herbs in which that are legal, that you can get out of your herbal stores with no problem.
got you. Mugwort. Well, I heard about that.
Yeah,
I know,
mugwort.
because I know in the Haitian culture we call it is it called amwas? Yeah, they call it armatisma in the Spanish culture. I was told about that. If you boil, you only can drink a certain amount of that because you will be having some astral
Right. Exactly.
experiences. So
Exactly.
yeah, wow,
Exactly. Exactly.
that's deep. That's deep, man. So those are the St. John's wort. Do you ingest those like just like that, or
Yeah,
you got to boil them down?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Drink 2 cups. Yep.
Preferably before bed, more than likely.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely.
And up in that height.
Before, once again, before a ritual, in a ceremony.
All right. So what I was saying before, what caused people to like to go through those crazy hallucinations? What is it? Is it something that's not being awakened, or something that they shouldn't have to happen? They
No, they already went into that with the intentions of being frightened, fear.
Mm,
They didn't release the fear prior to going into digesting the herbs.
I got you.
So
I got
what came up was their fear. That's what they're seeing and experiencing.
wow. All right, got you. So we was talking about in awakening, the different ways of tapping into unleashing the God within.
Right.
For the listener or viewer, what books would you recommend outside of the breathing techniques that a beginner could start off with if they trying to get into that level? Like, say for instance, somebody doesn't have no religious foundation on whatsoever, and they want to get
Right.
into this. What should we do?
The book they get is called The Science of Breath.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is called The Science of Pranayama.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's also a good book called Sexual Reflexology. by Manti Chia.
Okay.
A good book for herbs is what's the name of it? I can't remember right now, but most herbal books would tell you about mugwort and blue butterfly pea, and those different other herbs that I made mention of.
Blue butterfly. I got you.
Mhm.
So we talking about as far as environmental to help, like we doing rituals, sets the environment to help awaken the God, but the God within, like say grounding yourself barefoot in an open field that reconnects you back to the earth. Are there other things like one can do? Like say for instance, I have no books, I have this and that.
Right.
I just want to reconnect.
Well, practicing Qigong, practicing Tai Chi, practicing Reiki, practicing pranic healing. These are just some of the metaphysical, energetic ways in order to tap in and expands one consciousness to one's higher self. So this is why you see the masters practicing Qigong or Tai Chi is actually to be able to move energy and expand energy. And really, Tantra Kriya Yoga is Tantra Kriya Yoga means expansion of conscious energy. So even through sex, you can expand energy. I think best 1982, 83 was when the song Sexual Healing came out, you know, somewhere around that time period.
Yeah, with Marvin Gaye, definitely.
Marvin Gaye, right.
Yeah,
And
and the language
he,
was very deep on that with stuff that he was saying. Like it
yeah,
was
he's getting ready to take us there.
mm,
The book that I was thinking about is Jewel, not an herbal book, but it's called Jewel in the Lotus by my grandmaster teacher, Sunyata Saraswati. Jewel in the Lotus. That is a tantra book in which that helps with the expansion of consciousness.
So I got you. So damn man, that's deep, to awaken the God within. Like say for instance, like you got a sister that's pregnant, right? And she's ready to give birth. How can she ensure that we already know the child is already coming from that womb? That she ensures that the child has all those principles of knowing that like you're made perfect. Like you would what can she do to make sure that child that she gives birth to is already awake, that God energy is already awakened in that child? We already know that, it comes from the creator, but
Right. Well, she need to talk to the child while the child is still in the womb over those 9 months. Saying positive affirmations to the child, to help expand consciousness and awareness within that child. So chanting, doing all types of mantras, doing all types of prayers, positive affirmations. These things will help the child grow in consciousness while in the womb. Reading books to the child, while in the womb. I ain't talking about Jack and Jill goes up the hill. I'm talking about Jewel and the Lotus, these particular type of books to put the child on another level of consciousness when the child comes out the womb, So yeah.
nah, that's real right there. Yo,
Mhm.
for the viewers or listeners, man, if you got any questions, don't be afraid to comment. If you got a question for the good doctor up here, because he's dropping gems. And as I said, if you go back and study this man's work, this man's contribution to the conscious community is so valid. Because for years, like some of his lectures, he's been dropping some things that some people I don't think they really could fathom or expand their consciousness to understand. Because you've been in this forever, man. Watching you from Long Island University, being down there,
Right.
yeah, man. And it's like you always teaching it, like the metaphysical side of like the mind, body, soul, and people didn't understand when you was teaching them about as you mentioned, the sex energy, the
Right.
transfer of
No.
energy and um garnet, gathering your power and stuff like that. We gotta
Right.
bring you back
Right.
for that, man. It's like for real, like learn this about the kundalini and all that, how to awaken that
Right.
God. Because that's true. The meditation, I be feeling like my spine. I'm like, what's that? I be feeling like a cool breeze going up my back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
That's what it is. All right, good damn. That's crazy, man. That's real, God. Um,
Mhm.
how can we like get in contact with you to purchase your products and stuff like that? For those that are
You give us a call at 252, well, 910 364 9099. Probably be the best number to call. 910
Mhm.
364 9099.
Got you. And that's for like all the herbs that you sell, like are they fresh herbs, packages, none of that,
We do
anything in
we do fresh herbs. We have herbal blends. We have herbs that are crushed. We have herbs that are cut, flowers. So we have over 250 herbs in which that can help with healing. And we go into those sciences.
Oh man, somebody got a question. It's not really part of what's going on tonight, but I just want to ask the questions. I don't know if you can see it.
Uh,
They say
the
Islam more piece of the panel.
two questions. Are you still a Moorish right member? Yes. And what political Moorish agenda beyond nationality? Um, Moorish. Okay. All right. So yes, I'm a Moorish right Freemason, and we didn't take any oath in order to hold the information back from the people. I can tell you that for a fact. Okay.
That- That's what.
Our the oath that we took was for brotherhood. That's what I can tell you for a fact. So our political agenda, as far as the Moorish rights, is simply to expand information of the Moors through masonry and showing those said masons, whether they came from the Irish, French, British, Lodge, that they are Moors. So that's the political agenda for the Moorish right. Now, for me, I'm also the crown prince of United Washington, and I'm the second cousin to the Empress, Verdiasi Gaston El Bey, and first cousin to Wendy, who's the present Empress, one time removed. I'm also the first cousin to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, four times removed. So our agenda is to get this vast land, this vast estate in which that Prophet Noble Drew Ali spoke about in chapter 47 of the Holy Quran, Circle 7, and understand is that we're talking about the vast estate. That's more than 68,883 acres of land, which is just the middle to the top portions of Louisiana. We're talking about expanding that all the way into another 30 million acres, in which that would be more than 13 states and almost the whole of Canada.
You see, I done awaken the God. You see, the God. I just he just informed y'all, man. There's a comment here where Suli said, "I have taken Hartaki, but it induced headaches." Is that a normal side effect?
Uh, it could be depending on how much you took.
Got you.
You know, shiitake, maitake, and different other ones. Those are mushrooms, but might not have been the proper mushroom for you.
Again, it goes back to what you said as far as eating for your diet and stuff
Right,
like that.
right.
Got you. I
You're
got
right. Mm-hmm.
I got you. I got you. I got you. See, I see a lot of people here want to talk about Moorish information. Again, we're talking about awakening the gods. That Moorish question, I allow that one. If you have a question about awakening the god within, do ask. But if it's about some Moorish history and information, that's for another show that we can have. We just had the doctor up here just to come up here and give us some information. And shout out to the ancient free Moorish right. We had those brothers up on here, and they were very humble and informative, man. Peace to those brothers, man. Yeah, they still they want to go straight into Moorish history
Yeah, I
again,
see.
brothers. We was talking about waking the god within. Chill out, Moors. We will talk about we will have a show for you guys to come on here and talk about
Yeah,
Moorish history. Peace to the Moors, peace to the gods of the earth, man. It's just like they
yeah.
are just
We're gonna have to, because they're not letting us off the hook.
no, they're not,
Nah, they going in with the Moorish information.
and
Brother
I
Lee
get it.
Bay. Yeah,
All right, so look, I hear you, Lee Bay. We see you, brother, but nobody, sometimes these things tend to be very sensitive for many, man.
you're right.
It's very sensitive for many. I just want to talk about the God within it, and you did an excellent job on that. I'm just trying to I'm gonna hit you up definitely later to learn about some herbs and stuff like that
Okay,
that can help to regenerate,
right.
heal the body, which is very important because people don't understand that health is wealth. All that knowledge we may have without that health, it's pointless, man. So we
That's
gotta
true.
that's the part of awakening the God and looking out for our people.
That's true.
Oh
That's
man, Alim
true.
Bey, I appreciate you, brother. Nothing but love and respect. We definitely gotta get you back on here,
All right.
to talk about more, man.
Yeah,
To get more into the Moorish history. I think people want that.
you're right.
Somebody just say, Alim Bey, I want to unite the Americas.
All right.
Um,
Sound good to me. Let's
and
do
that's
it.
that's what we all about, man. For everyone that's watching this podcast or listening, NYP, we are not into this school of thought versus that school of thought, the clashing of information. It's great to know brothers are out there being diligent when they studies. We all about moving forward here, picking up the pieces, and you know what I'm saying, making ourselves great. That's it. So, with that being said, my brother, I appreciate you. Peace and love. Shouts
Peace
to
and love.
everybody in the chat. Appreciate you for
All
tuning
right.
in. This is NYP, and we out.
We out. Peace.
Peace. Peace.